Well, hello. We told you we'd be back, and we're back. First of all, if you're on Facebook, thank you for watching, whether it's live or you're watching a rebroadcast. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for watching. If you're on YouTube, we thank you, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe and the little thumbs up. I know everybody on YouTube says that, and yeah, it's a good thing. So hit the subscribe and the thumbs up, and we're really grateful for that. Okay, we want to begin today. First of all, my name's Kim Crow. I'm from Create Change Now, the hybrid super PAC, which I'll get into a little bit more in a couple of minutes. And the title of this, we've kind of agreed upon America's Future Matters, and I hope you guys like that, but that's going to be the title of everything we do in the future. America's Future Matters. And the website's createchangenow.org, and we'd invite you over to read and study and learn and join us. It's free. All right, first thing I want to talk about is vaccine passports. That seems to be in the news these days. Everybody's wanting vaccine passports. Well, I don't want them, and I'm going to tell you why. This is America. We don't do that in America. We don't force you to go to a doctor. We don't force you to take medication. We don't force you into being jabbed, as it were. And I quite frankly don't like that idea. And I don't think you should either. Now, as for me personally, yes, I had the jab, because I've got a couple of major contributing factors that if I catch this garbage, according to my doctor, I won't live to tell about it. So I had to get the jab, and I just pray I survive the jab. It's been a month now. Sorry, I got the windows open and the curtains blowing a little bit. I apologize, but it's beautiful in Iowa today. 77 and a gentle breeze. All right. Enough of the vaccine passports, but I can tell you I'm not gonna show my little card to get on a plane. I'm not going to show my card to get into Walmart, and I'm damn sure not going to show my card to go to a movie or a restaurant. And I wouldn't expect you either. The only thing I've got to say about vaccines is this. Look, if this were a national emergency and 50 million people had this, and we were going to lose 50 million people to this virus, you could make an argument, because now it becomes national security and the threat against the entire nation. And you can make an argument for it. But as it stands right now, which brings me to Governor Abbott. Governor Abbott in Texas, it was announced a couple of days ago that he hasn't had any deaths now in several days. And hats off to Governor Abbott. And while I'm giving hats off to Governor Abbott, I want to give him one more hat off. Hats off, Governor Abbott, on signing the heartbeat bill. Outstanding. Well done. America thanks you. We thank you. And you're a great governor. And if you ever decide you want to run in Iowa, come on up. We'd be glad to have you. Next thing I want to do real briefly is tell you exactly what Create Change Now is. Create Change Now is a super PAC. Now, super PACs, as you well know, typically get involved in elections, and they run a lot of TV ads and things like that, which we're going to do. We're going to do that when the time comes. However, what we're doing is going 2, 3, 4 steps further down the road. We're actually going to activate and mobilize volunteers on the ground, because the reality is the Democrats now, they control the House, they control the Senate, as you know, and God, we all know they're in the White House. Well, with that said, the only way we can stop them from doing some of this damage that they're doing is we're going to have to get involved and start protesting. We're going to have to protest in Colorado. We're going to have to protest in Texas. We're going to have to protest all over the place. And to do that, we need millions of you to join us. We've already got a pretty good crowd joining, We need more. We need many, many more, and we need you. And then we're going to start announcing what we're going to do, where we're going to go, and how we're going to do it. But we are going to do it. Give you an example. Coca-Cola all of a sudden thinks you should apologize for being white. They think you should apologize. So the world's going woke. We're going to protest against woke, okay, or whatever it's called. We're going after it, and we're going to let Biden know, no, don't sign this gun legislation. Don't sign this. Don't sign that. And speaking of gun legislation, well, I'm not going to get off on that now. We'll discuss that in a later show. But yeah, it's very, very real. And there's a House bill right now that's passed the House. It's gone to the Senate. It's called H.R. 127. Look it up because we'll probably be talking about it tomorrow. It's frightening, and it's enough to raise the hair on the back of your neck if you're a Second Amendment advocate, and it's enough to really hack you off. Before I go any further, I want to ask you to say a prayer for our good friend in Michigan. We've got a warrior in Michigan that she's been on the front lines of everything. This lady is an outstanding conservative warrior. Her name's Dawn Dodge. And the only reason I'm bringing her up is because a few days ago she had neck surgery. And any of you that have ever had neck surgery knows that it's extremely painful. And she's going to be laid up for a couple of months, apparently, and going to be out of action. So they're going to miss her in Michigan. But I'd like to ask all of you to pray for her and pray for her quick healing, because neck surgery sucks. And my brother had it. My mother had it. A lot of people around me have had it. And I may need it pretty soon myself. At any rate, do say a prayer for Miss Dawn Dodge. She's a conservative hero, and she's involved in a lot of things. And she even helped get President Trump elected last time. So do say nice things about her. Now, speaking of Michigan, let's talk about Governor Whitmer. She's been busted, and we've got a news clip here for you. But Governor Whitmer was busted the other day. She was at a bar. She was at a sports bar with a bunch of friends. And I think in this article from Fox 2 in Detroit, there's a photograph of her in this bar. Now, Michigan still has, here she is, Michigan still has in effect distancing laws. You're not allowed to have more than 6 people in a close proximity, and they have to stay distanced. And they're supposed to be wearing their mask. I want you to tell me in this video here, in this photograph here, is there anybody in there wearing their mask? Because if there is, I can't see them. And Governor Whitmer is the one sitting beside the fellow standing up in the back, toward the back of the table. And they're all at a place called the Land Shark in East Lansing. And nobody's wearing a mask. Now, this brings up the unmitigated total hypocrisy of this lady. She's bankrupted businesses over this mask mandate, and you can't have anybody in a barber shop. You can't have anybody, on and on it went. And there's been tens of thousands of businesses that have gone out of business, hundreds of thousands of people in Michigan that have lost their jobs. She's crippled the economy, and they're still no better off in terms of people catching COVID. And she is a hypocrite. Is there any other way to put it? The lady is a hypocrite, breaking her own laws. This, in addition to the episode the other day with her, I don't know what the deal was, took a private jet to Florida and blah, 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 and it's illegal or whatever. And she had donors donating and so on and so forth. Anyway, she's under investigation for that. And now she pulls this crap. So with that said, Create Change Now is going to be involved. And we're getting involved because we don't like this governor. And we think she needs to be replaced. There's a couple of great candidates that's coming up. One's announced, one's getting ready to announce. And we're going to be putting a poll up on the website about who we should support and who we should get behind. part of a super PAC, the benefit of a super PAC is we can run negative advertising, whereas a lot of candidates and their management staff don't want them to run negative advertising because people don't typically like it when a candidate comes out and says bad things about another candidate. But when a super PAC does it, it's a whole different ballgame. To give you an example, remember John Kerry? John Kerry, when he ran against President Bush, the Swift boat people from Vietnam, they formed a PAC, and these guys went out and just blasted John Kerry in national television ads. In fact, Kerry even says the Swift boat ads probably is what made the difference in his loss and versus winning. They just annihilated this guy running negative advertising. But had Bush done that, the American people wouldn't have received it the same way. They would have viewed Bush as a jerk, if you will, versus he just stood back and didn't say anything, and the Swift boat people shredded John Kerry, and it gave the victory to Bush. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to help candidates out by shredding the enemy, as well as putting boots on the ground, volunteers and everything. That's another reason you need to go volunteer, folks. We need you. We need people willing to get out on a Saturday afternoon, knock on doors, say hello to people, and canvass and work for good candidates, because we're going to be backing really good candidates, which brings up a good candidate. We're in behind Jan Morgan in Arkansas. The current sitting senator, U.S. Senator in Arkansas, John Boozman, decided on the morning of January 7th that Trump was guilty of the riots on January 6th, and he came out against Trump, spoke against Trump, and it was a bad deal. And so we're going after John Boozman. And Jan Morgan is a great Christian. She's a mother. She's a wife. She owns a gun range in Hot Springs and teaches people how to shoot straight. She's a good lady, and she's smart, and she'll make a fantastic U.S. Senator. So we need your help to support her as well. So again, createchangenow.org. Now let's go back to Texas. Texas and the river. Let's talk about Texas and the river. Currently in Texas,
ground zero of the immigration crisis is much larger than the border itself.
U.S. Highway 281, it heads north, is the main corridor for human smuggling or drug smuggling.
That's what's going on in Texas right now. It's bad. It's real bad. And this is something that I haven't talked to my partner about this, but I did have a phone call the other day with a gentleman in Arizona, and his in-laws own a huge ranch on the Arizona border, and he's wanting to hold a major rally down there, bring in some of the local politicians, bring in some of the national politicians, possibly bring in our favorite Uncle Ted, Ted Nugent, and several others. But I'm thinking Create Change Now may want to get involved in this because this is a major problem down there. And you've got thousands, you just saw a video a minute ago, you have thousands of people a day crossing the borders, and that's just Texas. You're not hearing about Arizona and New Mexico. You got another 800 miles of borders across there that people are just walking across. And we don't have we can't stop. And it's because of Joe Biden, guys, that our nation is not going to survive this. If this goes on for very long, we're going to be in really, really deep trouble. We already are, but it's fixing to get a lot worse. You've got smugglers bringing children across. You talk about the children in cages and what have you. Yeah, because they're finding out that it's these smugglers and cartels and coyotes bringing these kids across and selling them. They're human trafficking children, okay? And this is going on as we speak at this moment in Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and Southern California. This is a national crisis. and it's manufactured by Joe Biden and his administration. Trump had nothing to do with this, nothing. He was building a wall and stemming it. And the Homeland Security people will tell you the numbers were drastically reduced under Trump since he started building the wall. We've got to get involved, and we need to get involved at a very high level, and we need to let these idiots know on Capitol Hill that America's not going to tolerate this anymore. The peasants are rising. We've got our pitchforks, we've got our torches, and we're pissed off, quite frankly. And just one more clip here. You need to watch, listen to this rancher. This lady is a rancher.
In the last few months, it's really picked up, and there are profound property damage with smugglers that are being pursued by law enforcement. And it's not only that, it's armed smugglers going through private property, rural roads at high speeds to drop off their load.
Loads that law enforcement officers say defy dangerous odds in the wilderness.
Yeah, and here's the deal. The coyotes bring them in. They dump them in the middle of a desert, okay? They may or may not have a bottle of water. Then they say, walk 21 miles that way and they'll pick you up. They don't survive. In that video that you just watched, a few frames before that, I didn't show it. I didn't have it shown because it's kind of sick. But they're finding carcass after human carcass after human body after human body in the middle of these deserts out there. You know, it's 110 degrees. It's sand and it's hot and the wind's blowing, and it doesn't take very long before you succumb to that. And you've got children out there trying to do the same thing. And this is a tragedy, folks, and we need to get involved. So with that said, we're gonna start closing this broadcast out for today. We're gonna be back tomorrow. We're gonna discuss some more of this, and I'm gonna be discussing guns tomorrow because it has been suggested to me by some FBI people and some state trooper people. They may be onto the solution. And I want to tell you, I did contact Senator Joni Ernst's office about this. I'm still waiting on a phone call. It's been weeks. I've called back repeatedly. I don't know what the problem is with Senator Ernst's office, but you guys need to give me a call, and we need to talk about this. But we'll be discussing it tomorrow. We do have a possible solution to our police issue nationwide, and I think you're probably going to like it. I was very impressed with it when it was told to me, and I think it's spot on, and I think it's a good deal. And with that said, we're going to bid you adieu today. We thank you for watching. Again, if you're on YouTube, please click the little thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button. And if you're on Facebook, hit the like button. And we thank you for your patriotism. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. We thank you for loving this country. Hats off to our law enforcement. The job you do is just incredible. And hats off to our military for providing us with this liberty and freedom that we cherish and we're fighting for. You guys take care. Have a great day. CreateChangeNow.org. Go visit. I think you're going to like it. Bye-bye now.